You need to see these super interesting maps of the USA. Really excited to see what these maps are. Before we do get into this, I appreciate if you guys can hit that subscribe button. Let's just straight to this and see what we got.
Maps are incredible.
Okay.
I've said it once and I'll say it again because with them we can learn tremendously interesting things about what they depict.
True.
In this video, we're going to take a look at 9 maps of the United States,
Okay.
most of them being statistical and or data maps that show us key differences between states and the country's territory in general.
Right. Learning day. To be fair with me, every day's a learning day.
Let's start with 2 on the thumbnail. First, what is the best-selling vehicle in each state?
Okay.
Straight off, we can tell through the color legend that 3 brands dominate the top-selling vehicles in the US.
Hold on. What is Ram? I know what Ford, Toyota, Chevrolet, what? Chevrolet Silverado. I don't even know what that is.
Chevrolet, Ford,
Chevrolet.
and Toyota. In 16 states, the Chevrolet Silverado was the best-selling vehicle in 2022.
Okay, I never
In
heard of that
14
car.
states, it was the Ford F-Series,
Right.
both of them being pickup trucks and being mostly dominant in interior states. In 13 other states, with particular dominance on the East Coast, it was the Toyota RAV4. Keep in mind that these states in which the Toyota is the best seller have more people than the ones where the Chevrolet and the Ford are, so it's
Okay.
likely that despite being number 1 in less states, they
Yo, let me know if you've had any of these cars or which cars you do have currently.
still sold more total numbers. Next is the Ram with
Ram.
their own pickup truck model, which is the most popular in Wyoming, Nevada, and Alaska. And then we have 5 other states that move away from the trends. Florida has a Toyota as the best seller too, but
Yo, wait. In California, Tesla is the most popular car. Yo, that's really interesting, knowing like how kind of newer the Tesla cars are compared to like the others, you know what I mean? So the fact that that's the most popular, very interesting.
that move away from the trends. Florida has a Toyota as the best seller too, but it's a Toyota Corolla, just like Hawaii, which instead of the RAV4 has the Tacoma pickup truck, while Arkansas is the GMC Sierra, another pickup truck. I guess Americans really like those.
Right.
And finally, California is the only
Hey, you guys do like your pickle truck. You know what? I've said this in many videos before. You see this pickle truck here? Well, like just standard pickle truck. This all blacked out. Oh, I actually want one of them. But in the UK, it'll be too big to drive. You know what I'm saying? But they're so nice.
state in which the Tesla Model Y was the best-selling vehicle in 2022.
Oh, wow.
Do you think these trends maintain themselves in 2023, or did they change?
You know what? I wasn't expecting Tesla to be the best selling. I know Tesla's getting very popular, but I wasn't expecting it to be the, number 1. That's very interesting.
The other one on the thumbnail, what is each state's main energy source? This map includes Canadian provinces, but we're going to ignore those and focus on the US here. First, we can look at how these energy sources are divided percentage-wise in total. Throughout US states, 6% have hydro as the main source of power, only 4 states, Vermont, Idaho, Oregon, and Washington. 19% have nuclear, here in pink, and I was surprised about this. Illinois, the top producer of nuclear energy in North America, apparently.
What's the reason for them to be different? I thought it would just be pretty much the same kind of energy. Huh?
Tennessee, South Carolina, Maryland, and New Hampshire. 9% have wind, South Dakota, Iowa, Kansas, and Oklahoma. Surprisingly, 20.
Wait, hydro is energy powered by water, right? Nuclear is obviously not nukes, but nuclear. Natural gas, coal, wind. What's the other? What's 6% over?
2% still have coal, all of these in dark gray on the map, and the remaining, which make up 38%, use mostly natural gas.
Right.
Those in gold on the map, they are mostly the southern US states, but also many in the northeast as well as Alaska.
Very interesting.
This other map shows us the distribution of African immigrants, where they are and how many there are in each place.
Okay.
The data here is also referring to
wow.
2022. Keep that in mind, since it might be outdated now. First, it tells us that 10% of US immigrants in total are from Africa. Then it shows us how many people of African origin live in each part of the country. The bigger the circle, the bigger the amount of people.
Right.
And the brighter the purple, the bigger the percentage they represent of that local population. For instance, Minneapolis has the largest community of Africans in the country in terms of absolute numbers, while the place with the highest percentage are
East
the
Coast.
Washington, D.C. suburbs and Hennepin County in Minnesota. It's very interesting to see how there's a clear concentration of African immigration in the Northeast. I would expect the Southeast instead, since it's physically closer to Africa, and should they come by boat, it would be the first point of entry.
Yeah, that's very, very interesting. I was expecting Southeast to be the most popular, but the Northeast is just, bro, I wonder why that is. Is there any like reason for that?
It's also curious to see how Minnesota has such a high group when it's not that populous of a state overall, and it's away from the coast, which might be the arrival points. Apparently, this is because Minnesota has a long history of welcoming refugees and immigrants since the end of World War II and has one of the highest rates of immigrant employment in the country, leading more people to move there.
Yo, very interesting, because there's nothing more powerful than the word of mouth. Do you know what I'm saying? So, like, let's say they got family members or friends, and then they're telling people about how good it is to immigrate to this location. They're going to do that. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, very, very, very interesting.
Now, let's get back to the video. Moving on to this other map, which shows us the most popular attraction in each state. This is a pretty interesting topic because of the historical background of each of these attractions. So let me know if you want a full dedicated video on each of them. This map is interesting in two ways too, because in addition to showing us the most popular tourist attraction in each state, it also color codes the states depending on how many visitors those attractions have.
Oh, okay.
This not only tells us which attractions are most popular, but
I'm not gonna lie, having less than 1 million, yo, this is really standing out to me. The Ben & Jerry's ice cream factory is the most popular attraction and 293,000. Yeah, that is pretty low, bro. What state is this? I know this is Maine. What state is this? What's the most? More than 10 million? What's the most here? 40 million Mall of America. What? That's the most? The Mall of America is the most visited attraction? I suppose people do go there shopping. So kind of does make sense. Wow, but 40 million? Oh, wow. Las Vegas Strip, 30 million. Okay. Pike Place Market. Disneyland, Disney World, Broadway, at the beach. Yo, very interesting. Times Square makes sense. For new Hallmark, what? I guess the marketplace are high up because people go there shopping, so that makes sense.
Also, which states have the most tourism in general, as the two are usually related. In pink, we have states where the main attraction has more than 10 million visitors, like Disneyland in California, Pike Place Market in Washington, the Las Vegas Strip in Nevada, or the Mall in America in Minnesota.
Yo,
which
that's
was
crazy.
Surprising, to be honest. Although, keep in mind, these are total visitors and not just external ones.
Right.
So states with higher populations might be higher because of that. Plus, these also change every year. Then in blue are those with between 5 to 10 million yearly visitors, like the San Antonio Riverwalk in Texas.
Wait, what is the Temple Square?
Texas, or the French Quarter in Louisiana. In yellow, the most common color are those between 1 and 5, like the Yellowstone National Park, the Grand Canyon, or Cedar Point.
Right.
Finally, in light blue or green are those visited by less than 1 million people a year, and most likely the least visited states altogether: the Theodore Roosevelt National Park in North Dakota, the U.S. Space Center in Alabama, or Ben & Jerry's Ice Cream Factory in Vermont.
Yo, I would love, do you know what? I would love to go to a lot of these national parks I really want to visit. I think the U.S. Space Center would be really cool to visit. But only 500,000 go there? Yo.
Something else that is really fascinating to look at is the distribution of national parks across the country and in each state.
Okay.
And I found it odd that more of them aren't the most popular destination in some states in the previous map.
Yeah.
This map, though, shows us all the main national parks in the US, each signaled by a tree. This other map in low resolution shows us how much space they effectively take up in terms of area in the country. Yellowstone, Death Valley, the Everglades, and then those in Alaska seem to be the biggest. But it's interesting to go back to the first map and see how they are mostly concentrated in the less urbanized western half of the country in total. And if you wanted to see them all, you need to visit 31 states and 2 US territories, American Samoa and the US Virgin Islands.
Yo, bro, California is hogging so many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 national parks. Yo, Alaska, never mind. Wait, is this more? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, wait. California has 9 total.
Altogether, there are 429 national park sites in the US, although just 63 have the actual national park designation in their names. And another territory-related map is this one, which shows us an exaggerated relief map of the country's topography. It really shows how different the elevation is in different parts of the US. The east is all plains, save the medium rise in the Appalachian Mountains, but as you go west, it's so rugged terrain that one really understands why some of these states are so empty of people. Pretty much all of the western third of the US's continental territory are mountains, save the actual west coast itself.
Yo, this map tripping me out, bro, because I'm looking at this map and I'm thinking in my head, like, how are people living here, bro? Like, how they... What?
Going back to state comparisons, this map shows us the percentage of people in each state that owns a passport.
Less than 20% own a passport? Bro, what is this state? What?
From the 60% plus of California, New York, New Jersey, Delaware.
Wait, yo, comment down below. Do you guys have a passport or no? Like, I totally get why you don't go traveling to other countries in America, because I've said this before. America is that big. It's like the whole of Europe. You know what I'm saying? So, like, for example, I've never been out of Europe. So that's like an American saying they've never been out of America, right? It makes sense. It's just so far. Do you know what I mean? And, bro, America's beautiful in itself. It's like 50 different countries, man. You don't need to go out of there. But I thought they would own a passport just to own a passport just in case. You know what I mean? Like, just in case you need to go somewhere, maybe you'll have one.
Massachusetts and Alaska to the under 20% of Mississippi.
Wow.
There are a lot of correlations and causations that we can take away from this.
Mad.
First, one immediate one is that states where less people have passports travel less to the outside of the US.
Right.
That is objectively true. But then we can look at the causes of that. In some cases, it might have to do with specific states being less prosperous, so people just can't afford to travel abroad and so don't need a passport. As well as the effects. Some people say that those who travel more outside the US tend to be more in favor of progressive policies. I can't say if that is true, but it is an interesting topic to study. Next, religion. This map shows us the greatest religious denominations in each county of the US.
Wait, what is going on here? Why is the South so red? Baptist. I don't really know the different meanings. Like, I don't know the difference between Catholic and Baptist. But, yo, it's actually crazy to think there's such a difference. Wait, what's this? Oh, Mormon. Okay, interesting.
Each color points to a specific religion. The tone of it shows whether or not they are a majority or just a plurality, which means it's the biggest religious group in that county, but not over 50%. Surprisingly to me, Catholicism is tremendously prevalent here in purple. Southern states are mostly Baptist, which is still Christian, just a branch of Protestantism. Other Protestant groups can be found up north in blue, like the Lutherans. Non-denominational, which I believe means atheist here, are in pink, prevalent in the northeast coast. The other only thing that calls my attention is the gray, which represents Mormonism, mostly in Utah, but also spreading to some counties in surrounding states. And finally,
I'm not gonna lie, I don't really know too much of the difference between the different types of religion and stuff like that. So maybe you guys can update me a little bit more on the difference in the comment section and stuff like that.
Most of the maps we looked at here are separated by state borders, but what if those state borders were different? And instead of following mostly arbitrary human-drawn lines, they were made taking into account the watershed areas of the country's main rivers. Well, the contiguous 48 would certainly look very different. Oregon would seemingly lose its coast, and Washington would be almost divided in half.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie, I don't really like this map. I like the original map of America, dude. This map, it don't look... The other one looks clean, bro. I like the square states.
In fact, odd shapes would be common all around, like Utah's super strange borders here.
I don't really get why this is.
And Arkansas as well. California would stay very similar, but losing its straight line interior borders, as is the case with every single state.
Okay.
Nevada would become super small, while other states like Oklahoma would now become gigantic. Some southern states would extend into Mexico as well, and all the northern ones would stretch into Canada too.
So is this just... Did he say this is like you take out the straight borders and you follow like more of like the rivers and coastlines and stuff like that?
Florida would be much smaller, just consisting of the peninsula, and the east coast entirely would look completely different, and some states would almost be dislocated, like West Virginia, which essentially moves upward. The US's state lines are a little questionable right now, with its ridiculous straight lines that don't take any local issues into account, so while this wouldn't be ideal, it would at least have, I believe, a little more logic to it.
I really do enjoy these kind of videos. Hopefully you guys enjoyed them as well. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a thumbs up, subscribe for more content. I'm live every single day on twitch.tv/L3WG. If you guys want to check me out over there, I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.